that chest, we already have the PRIMITE cards in Master Duel. And these are a big buff to Blue Eyes, and to be honest, these are a big buff to almost any deck that actually runs a normal monster. It's just that Blue Eyes is definitely going to be the most popular deck playing these PRIMITE cards, so, you know, get used to seeing these on the ladder. And yeah, these cards are pretty crazy. They easily shoot up Blue Eyes at least a tier or two in the meta, according to basically everybody that's played this in the TCG and OCG. This is a tier 1 deck in both those formats at one point. And yeah, let's show you why these PRIMITE cards are good in Blue Eyes. Well, first off, we're going to start with the one card combo, which is just a PRIMITE Lode or PRIMITE Beryl, whichever one. This isn't too exciting because you didn't open any Blue Eyes cards technically. I mean, we did, but like, I mean, these Blue Eyes cards don't do anything. These are that's the thing with Blue Eyes. There's quite a few bricks in here, so if we only have the PRIMITE cards, the combo's not as exciting. But you just have to know what to do if you don't open any Blue Eyes, but just PRIMITE cards. So either Lode or Beryl. If you open Beryl, you set Lode. If you open Lode, you add Beryl. You know, one gets the other, and then you normal summon the Beryl, and then Beryl will add you your Drill Beam, and Drill Beam is crazy. This is basically quick play Gamma Seal. You know, it negates a card on the field and then banishes it, and it can reset itself every turn. So you have a, you know, once per turn negate plus banish that comes back every turn. That's crazy. This is like honestly the main reason why the PRIMITE engine is so broken and so busted. But yeah, now we have Beryl. Now you don't normally you don't want to use on-field effect normally. Okay, you don't click the glowing yellow button right here. Most of the time, you're gonna use Beryl to just link it off into a Spirit of Eyes of Blue because it is a level 4 or lower dragon monster. And Spirit of Eyes of Blue will add our Mausoleum, you know, if we still had it in the deck and if we didn't brick with it. But yeah, and now because we don't have any other Blue Eyes cards, we only have one player here, which is we're gonna use PRIMITE Lode other effect, where you can declare one normal monster card and special summon that monster of that name from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And it does lock you out of special summoning, or it locks you out of using effects special summon monsters on the turn, but since we had no other play, this is all we can really do for now. And we're going to link these two into seals, and yeah. So the one card combo is not too exciting. It doesn't really get us much, to be quite frank. I like activating a Mausoleum just to so I have a face-up spell card to bounce with seals, so that seals is always live. But yeah, and then on your opponent's turn, what you do with this is the idea is you're going to we'll wait for your opponent to have a card on field or something, and okay, so we're gonna draw the Monarch structure deck, so that we're gonna draw the Monarch solo mode, so hopefully it does something. And yeah, so it does that. So now with that, you can bounce with seals, bounce one of their bounce one of your opponent's cards, and then seals will summon a Blue Eyes from deck. And then now that you have a Blue Eyes on the field, your PRIMITE Drill Beam is live. So in order to use this card, you either need to reveal a PRIMITE card or normal monster in hand, or control a level 5 or higher normal monster, which the Blue Eyes is. So now that the Blue Eyes is on the field, now our Drill Beam is live. So now we have the negate and a banish. So the one card Beryl or the one card Lode gets you a bounce with seals plus a negate plus banish with Drill Beam, which doesn't sound too impressive, but keep in mind, like, you only used one card, so the 4 other cards in your hand are, okay, let's be honest, probably one of those other 4 cards in hand are going to be a brick, but the 3 other cards should be non-engine and like just hand traps, which should get you through, which should be good enough to get you through a turn. But yeah, that's just the one card combo. Let's get on to the much more exciting 2 card combos using Beryl plus a Blue Eyes card. Alright, so the 2 card combos are where the PRIMITE engine gets interesting. These next few combos are basically just going to be Beryl or Lode plus a corresponding Blue Eyes starter. In this case, we have a Sage of the Blue Eyes this time. So here, I'm going to show you the maximum combo you can get with just running the standard build of Blue Eyes PRIMITE. So, normal summon the Lordly Lode and... Lordly Lode, jeez. After Beryl, set the Lordly Lode, and then Lordly Lode is going to add us our Drill Beam. And now we're going to link the PRIMITE Dragon Effort Beryl into our Spirit with Eyes of Blue. And Spirit is going to add us our field spell and activate Mausoleum. And now with our extra normal summon, we can normal summon the Sage with Eyes of Blue. And then Sage will add us our Maiden. And we can activate Maiden and then place our True Light. And here we need to get a Blue Eyes monster into the grave, so we're going to use Mausoleum, target Spirit with Eyes of Blue, send our Blue Eyes to the grave, and then Spirit of Eyes of Blue is going to revive our Blue Eyes. And the combo I'm going to show you is the maximum combo you can do, the maximum end board, so it's not going to play around Nibiru. However, if you want to play around Nibiru with this combo, you just don't activate your Maiden of White right now. If you want to play around Nibiru, just don't activate Maiden and then just make a Spirit Dragon and try to pass the end phase. If they Nibiru you will use Lordly Lode to summon a Blue Eyes and then just revive back the Maiden, and then Maiden plus the Blue Eyes you summon off the Lordly Lode is going to make a Spirit Dragon again. So you still end on Spirit Dragon plus Majesties set by True Light through a Nibiru, if you wish to play around Nibiru. If you want to just full send and don't play around Nibiru, you're going to do this. So you're going to summon back the Maiden right here. And now you can make your first Spirit Dragon with Maiden and Blue Eyes White Dragon. And now you're going to use Lordly Lode to summon another Blue Eyes from deck. And now you can make your second Spirit Dragon with Sage plus Blue Eyes. So if you want to play around Nibiru, you would just not have a second Spirit Dragon. If you want to full send, you would get the second Spirit Dragon as well. And set the Drill Beam and whatever, and then end phase. It's good practice just to use True Light in the end phase, and then set your Majesty. So now this end board is a double Spirit Dragon plus a Drill Beam plus a Majesty, which is going to pop 2. And immediately, first of all, we're going to use True Light, and we're going to True Light to summon back our Blue Eyes White Dragon, which then we can trigger Maiden if we want to. And the reason we do this is because now our Drill Beam is live. So to activate Drill Beam, you need to either reveal a PRIMITE card or a normal monster in your hand, which we don't have. So instead, we're going to have to control a normal monster. And our normal monster is going to be Blue Eyes. So we use True Light immediately, summon at the Blue Eyes to make our Drill Beam live. So now our Negate plus Banish is live. And now we have the double Spirit Dragon, which we can do whatever the hell we want with. And let's see what the Monarch's... the Monarch Loner deck, or the Monarch solo mode does. So nothing, so we can do the classic Spirit to summon our ultimate Spirit, and then the other Spirit can go into Crimson Dragon, and then Crimson Dragon is going to tag out, targeting the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. And now we can summon out our Silver Dragon, so now our monsters will not die at the end phase as well. And we can also use Majesty of White, because we have 2 Blue Eyes in rotation. We can reveal 2 Blue Eyes monsters, 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then pop 2 cards. And then we also have a PRIMITE Drill Beam that we didn't use yet, because the Monarch solo mode is a very good deck. And yeah, the end phase Spirit Dragon is going to pop, and we can just protect with Cipher, and now it passes back to us. And this follow-up is insane. So like on top of the True Light follow-up and like all the normal Blue Eyes follow-up, we also get Effort Beryl back. Because Effort Beryl, if we have a normal monster in our deck, or if we have a normal monster on our field or graveyard, we can simply add the PRIMITE Beryl direct Effort Beryl back to our hand for free. So now we have this as well. So yeah, if ever the turn passes back to Blue Eyes on turn 3, the Blue Eyes player is gonna win almost all the time because all this follow up is insane. The Lord Lilo follow up, the True Life follow up, the Effort Beryl follow up. You get to reset Drill Beam, like it's crazy. So like, yeah, and even if you didn't do the full send combo, even if you just end on a single Spirit Dragon to play it on the Beryl, I mean that's 99% of the time that's still good enough. So like that's why everyone suggests you to just play around the Beryl anyways, because your end board is honestly good enough even if you don't go double Spirit Dragon. But I'm just showing you the double Spirit Dragon route because it's cool and it's fun to do. So yeah. Okay, and now the next combo is Effort Beryl or Lordly Lode plus Maiden of White. And you know, we got a classic Blue Eyes hand here, 2 starters plus 2 bricks, the classic. So activate Lordly Lode, and Lordly Lode is gonna add us our Effort Beryl, and then we're gonna normal summon Effort Beryl, and then Effort Beryl is going to set our Drill Beam. And next we're gonna activate Maiden of White to place our True Light, and then True Light is going to place our Wishes for Eyes of Blue. And this is where, if we open with Effort Beryl instead of Lordly Lode, it'll be nice because then instead of having the Drill Beam set already, the Lordly Lode would have added the Drill Beam to our hand instead, and then we could discard the Drill Beam for the Wishes, and then we can reset the Drill Beam for free, so we don't have to discard a real card. But seeing as how this hand already has a Blue Eyes White Dragon in it, a Blue Eyes White Dragon in it, we don't really care that we don't get a free discard. Because we can just discard the Blue Eyes anyways, because it's a brick. So no harm done for opening Lordly Lode instead of Effort Beryl. And then we're gonna add our Majesty, and then add our copy of Sage of Eyes of Blue. And now we're going to link the Effort Beryl into our Spirit of Eyes of Blue and add the add the field spell, and then activate the field spell. And now for our additional normal summon, we're gonna normal summon Sage of Eyes of Blue, and then this will add us a copy of Effect Veiler for free. And here we can use we can use our Mausoleum of White to target our Spirit of Eyes of Blue, and then send our Blue Eyes White Dragon to the grave. Pretend that we didn't open a Blue Eyes, so that we have to still send the Blue Eyes to the grave first. So yeah, we're gonna send a Blue Eyes to the grave, and then use Spirit of Eyes of Blue, tribute itself, to summon back a Blue Eyes. And here, if you wanted to play around the Beryl with this combo, at this point you wouldn't use Maiden of White. You would just make Spirit Dragon, and then go to end phase, and then see if they Nibiru you. And then if they do Nibiru you, you can keep playing. If they don't, it's fine. You still end on a lot. But if you want to go for the hard combo, you just summon back the main, Eyes of White, the full send combo, and now you will make 1 Spirit Dragon, and use Lordly Lode's effect to special summon a second Blue Eyes, and now you make your second Spirit Dragon. So now we end on the double Spirit Dragon again, plus Drill Beam, True Light, and a Majesties, plus a Veiler, plus another card in the hand, and on our opponent's terms, the True Light, summon back the Blue Eyes, and then we have the Drill Beam live. So yeah, we have all the full setup again. And again, if you wanted to play around the Beryl, you could just forego one of the Spirit Dragons to play around the Beryl as well. But yeah, this is a 2-hard combo with Lordly Lode or Effort Beryl plus Maiden of White. Alright, and now for the Effort Beryl or Lordly Lode plus Wishes for Eyes of Blue combo. So it's gonna start off, the same old normal summon Effort Beryl, and Effort Beryl will set your Lordly Lode, and then activate Lordly Lode, and Lordly Lode will add your PRIMITE Drill Beam, and now use wishes, and here you're supposed to discard the PRIMITE Drill Beam for a free discard because you can just reset it, but as you can see, we have like 2 other dead cards in hand as well that we could also discard if you don't even want to pitch the Drill Beam, if you want to hold it for like some random bestial later in turn or something. So you can do that as well, but for the 2-card combo, for all intents and purposes, just pretend the rest of our hand doesn't exist. So we're gonna pitch the Drill Beam, and then add a Roar of the Blue Eyes plus a Sage with Eyes of Blue, and then we can reset the Drill Beam for free. Then link the Beryl into Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirit will add our field spell, Mausoleum, then activate Mausoleum. Next, with our extra normal summon, we will normal summon the Sage that we searched off the wishes, and then Sage will add us our Maiden of White, and activate Maiden of White to activate True Light from deck. And here we will activate Roar to summon a Blue Eyes from deck. And here we're going to synchro into our first Spirit Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. And now that their Blue Eyes is in the graveyard, we can use our Spirit of Eyes of Blue, tribute itself, to summon our Blue Eyes Engrave. And now this will trigger our Maiden of White to special summon itself. And here, activate Mausoleum of White, targeting the Maiden of White, and then you can chain Maiden of White to special summon the Sage with Eyes of Blue from grave. And then send the Blue Eyes in our hand, unfortunately, to grave. And now we can make our second Spirit Dragon using Maiden of White and our second Blue Eyes White Dragon. And here, activate PRIMITE Lode, summon back a Blue Eyes White Dragon from grave. And here we will link our Spirit, our Sage of Eyes of Blue, with Eyes of Blue into a second Spirit of Blue Eyes. So now that we have 2 dragons, we can now link the Blue Eyes White Dragon and the Spirit with Eyes of Blue into our Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, and then we can use True Light and set our Majesty of White from deck. And here we have the full end board off of Beryl plus Wishes, double Spirit Dragon, Seal, Majesty, Drill Beam, and on our opponent's turn we'll True Light, summon back the Blue Eyes and make our Drill Beam live, and then yeah, still have should have 3 cards in hand. Unfortunately, we drew a brick, so we only have 2 cards in hand. But you know, assuming these are non-engine, you should be Gucci. So this is what a basic, streamlined PRIMITE Blue Eyes deck would look like. There's no funny text or no frills in this deck list. This is just, in my opinion, every piece of engine that you have to run, and then the rest is non-engine. There are, of course, you can always add more stuff to your Blue Eyes deck. You know, this game is about having fun, so if you enjoy playing other cards in here, you can add them as well. You know, you can play Blue Eyes Jet Dragon if you want to, and you can run like a Kaiser Seahorse for like the Jet Dragon. You can run Synchro Rumble if you want to. I don't recommend it. It's kind of a brick. Like this, the times you go Crimson Dragon turn 1 is like not often at all, but you know, you do you. Same with Master with Eyes of Blue and more Baron lines. You can also run triple Drill Beam. This is probably the tech most up for consideration in that you know, all you need is 1 Drill Beam to search. However, playing triple Drill Beam lets you play into boards better if you just hard draw it, so that's a consideration as well. I know Embry played that in his regional topping build in a regional winning build in the TCG. But yeah, these are like some other options you can run. What I would not recommend is don't play any other PRIMITE cards besides PRIMITE, Beryl, Lode, and then Drill Beam. None of these other cards are really worth running at all. In fact, at least in Blue Eyes, some of these cards are good in other normal base decks, like Roar, for example. Roar is not good in Blue Eyes because all this does is summon a Blue Eyes from deck, which, you know, if you control no monsters, which is kind of not really that good for Blue Eyes. But, you know, for other decks with normal summons, with normal monsters, this card is a lot better in those. But yeah, to go over the deck list, it's pretty standard. Honestly, like there's really not much to say. Like this deck kind of sort of just builds itself to a point, and it's pretty simple. That's like one of the benefits of this deck, and I hope you guys will find this guide useful because God knows I'm not going to be able to play this deck anytime soon. If you just check my CP in the top right now, top here, yeah, I'm like fiending for an event right now, bro. I need to pull so many cards for this goddamn deck. But yeah, you have to run the 2 Blue Eyes. Unfortunate. Maybe don't run the glossy and royal ones. You might draw them less. I don't know. Triple Veiler, the engine piece hand trap that you can always remember. You can always normal summon Veiler to go into Spirit of Eyes of Blue if you're that desperate. That is a play you can do. Of course, 3 Sage, 3 Maiden, and 3 Beryl, 3 Wishes, 1 Roar, 1 Mausoleum, 3 Lordly Lode, 1 Drill Beam, which you can run 3 if you want. If you want to play the deck over 40 cards, it is a consideration. And then 1 Majesty and 1 True Light, and that's it for the end. That's pretty, honestly, this is standard. I think literally every Blue Eyes build runs at least these cards in it, so not much to say there. And then for hand traps, you know, besides the Veilers, you got Maxi, Ash, Imperm, and then Dominus Purge. So Dominus Purge is really good. Was a lot better when Tenpai was more common, but yeah, Dominus Purge is basically you draw this card and you're playing against Tenpai, you just auto win because you just can negate their Kaimin for free. But this is just a good card in general. It's like more copies of Ash, which you're already playing a lot of hand traps in this deck. You're playing like 15 hand traps, including the Fualas for the Crossbow Designator. So yeah, Purge paired with other hand traps is good. It's Purge paired with Majesty or Imperm is also very good because again you get the pop as well with if you have another trap engrave, and it doesn't conflict with the main deck because you're playing all light monsters. It only conflicts with certain cards in the extra deck, and those cards are just very niche that you don't need to go into very often at all. But yeah, also you can help push through or negate Maxi going second if your opponent controls the card too. So yeah, this is just a really good hand trap, and which is unfortunate because it's a UR, so you're gonna need 90 more UR CP to play this deck on top of the fucking primates already, which I know it gets expensive. But yeah, this is a basic main deck build, and then the extra deck is also pretty standard. There's 1 Tyrant and 1 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and then you need at least 2 Spirit Dragon plus 1 Ultimate Spirit. Some people have run 3 Spirit and 2 Ultimate Spirit, which the main reason you would do that is for Cashier Unicorn, which that's also understandable. It's not like the extra deck is that tight. There's a lot of flex spots, so if you want to run more copies of the Spirit Dragons, that also works. And then we have the Crimson Dragon plus Cipher for the greedy line. You don't, again, you don't even technically even have to play this. You can just you can honestly cut these and just play around the Beryl the entire time if you want to, which if you do, that means you never access Crimson Dragon in the first place, so then you never end up using these slots. But again, there's so much slots in the extra deck that, you know, if you see that you're playing against a 60 card deck and you don't have that many non-engine, maybe it's worth it to, you know, YOLO and go for it to get a better end board, just to, you know, when you know your opponent has less likely of a chance to actually have the Beryl, such as when they're playing the 60 card deck, for example. But yeah, then you have 3 Spirit of Eyes of Blue. You can play 3 now because you go through 2 in a few combos now with the Beryl, as you saw, where you can make a Seals on the end board as well. So that requires you obviously to link off your Sage into a second Spirit of Eyes of Blue to turn into a dragon. So that's why 3 can come up more often now with the Primite engine. And then the 1 Seals and flex spots. Typhon, okay, Typhon I don't consider a flex spot, but just be wary that Typhon gets turned off by Purge. So like don't expect to bounce with Typhon if you Purge. Now you can still go into Typhon, you can still summon it for free, and you can still have the Floodgate effect for 3k attack monsters if you Purge, but just you won't get the bounce. You won't be able to bounce with Purge. Same with SP. I'm not, you notice I'm not running SP in here because Frankly, it's very hard to go into SP because the only beneficial way to go into SP in the first place is to use Spirit of Eyes of Blue, but obviously Spirit of Eyes of Blue locks you into dragons, so like there's a problem there. So like the only time you can actually go into SP profitably is when your Spirit of Eyes of Blue gets negated, and then you can go link off your Spirit into an SP, but like those instances are so rare, and SP also conflicts with Purge, so SP is not really necessary to run in the Blue Eyes extra deck. And then you have like other targets like Trishula is another Crimson Dragon target. If you don't want to go to like the double 12 route with Ultimate Spirit plus Cipher, you can leave a Spirit Dragon on the field and then instead tag the other one out into a Crimson Dragon and then tag into a level 9 Synchro, which is Trishula, and then banish from their hand, field, and grave, which is very potent. But just be careful. Again, this is a water monster, so this also conflicts with Purge. But you're probably not gonna be able to go into Trishula if you Purge, because like Purge you use from hand if you're going second, and Trishula is a play that you set up going first, so that shouldn't really conflict that much. But yeah, just be careful, like don't randomly like meme and go into Trishula off Crimson Dragon if you somehow Purge from hand. But yeah, and then Moonlight Rose is just level 7, bounce. Like again, this doesn't come up that often, there's a lot of extra space. If you want to run more Spirit Dragons again, that works as well. But yeah, this is Blue Eyes PRIMITE. What gonna be one of the better decks this format, but definitely this is gonna be one of the most played decks this format. Like I hop onto ladder already. I played like a few games, and like majority of my games, like 60-70% of my opponents were already playing PRIMITE Blue Eyes. So yeah, that number is only gonna go up as more and more people actually start to pull and own all the URs for this deck too. But yeah, hope this video was helpful for anyone interested in this deck, and thank you for watching.